The evening mist slowly enveloped the forest as the sun's rays faded on the horizon. The hunter's colony, known as the Cradle of Wolves, lived its days quietly nestled among the trees on the hidden glade. The harmony between humans and nature had lasted for centuries, yet every idyll had its strict rules. However, on this day, when silence reigned among the dense foliage, Serena, a young girl, decided to break those rules. Serena was the youngest and boldest hunter of the colony. Her brown hair cascaded wildly over her shoulders, and her green eyes blazed with a desire to prove herself. The path she walked on grew narrower, and the silence grew thicker. The forest's gentle whispers and the birds' songs faded away, as if the forest itself feared what Serena was about to do. With the passage of time, the unusual calm only intensified. Yet Serena didn't yield to her fear. She was determined to show everyone what she was capable of. Eventually, she reached a clearing where the grass rustled softly in the gentle breeze. For a moment, she marveled at how the sunlight caressed her features, but then she shook her head, dispelling the enchantment, and returned to reality. She sat down on a fallen log, pulled her hunting knife from her backpack, and spread out a map before her. The map depicted a stream that meandered through the animal's expected territory. The sun had already dipped below the horizon, and Serena grew increasingly restless. As she sat alone in the enveloping silence, she realized that perhaps breaking the rules so boldly hadn't been the best idea. Hunting alone was never sanctioned, for the dangers lurking in the forest were far greater than those within the colony. As the darkness deepened within the forest, Serena decided it was time to head back to the colony. However, as she moved slowly along the path, she suddenly stopped. She heard a strange sound, a hoarse, plaintive howl emanating from a nearby thicket. Her heart raced, but her curiosity overpowered her fear. She approached the thicket cautiously, pushing aside the branches. The sight that met her eyes was beyond comprehension. A massive, dark-furred wolf lay on the ground, its expression one of suffering. Beneath its dark form, a gaping wound yawned and the earth seeped red. Serena couldn't tear her gaze away from this sight, and her instincts compelled her to help. As she got closer to the wolf, she noticed mysterious symbols etched around the edges of the wound. It was as if the wound was the work of some ancient power. Serena's heart clenched at the sight, and despite her instincts, she began to retreat. But then, the wolf's eyes met hers. For a brief moment, it was as though she had peered into the depths of a dark soul. In a hoarse voice, the wolf spoke.
"Help me, or I am finished."
Serena understood that she had stumbled into something incredibly dangerous, but her compassion and curiosity overrode her fear. Gathering her courage, she resolved to attempt to save the wolf. She stepped cautiously toward the wounded animal, her heartbeat pounding so loudly it seemed to echo throughout the entire forest. She retrieved a water jug and a piece of cloth from her backpack, which she could use for bandaging. She gathered broken branches to shape into makeshift splints and scavenged softer strands from an abandoned bird's nest. Meanwhile, the wolf let out low whimpers and lay motionless, as if life was slowly slipping away. Serena approached it carefully, trying not to startle it. They communicated wordlessly, their gazes exchanging thoughts as if they understood each other's minds. She slowly sat down next to the wolf and examined the wound. The sight was horrifying, but her determination remained steadfast. In a hoarse voice, the wolf continued.
"I've been struck by an ancient power attack, a force summoned not by human hands."
Serena took the cloth and began gently cleaning the wound. The wolf's body tensed with pain, but there was a deeper, suppressed joy glimmering in its eyes. When the cleaning was done, Serena carefully positioned the 2 sticks on either side of the wound and tied them in place with strands from the bird's nest. Finally, she pressed the cloth down gently to stem the bleeding. The wolf lowered its head gratefully and touched Serena's hand with its nose.
Thank you. I need to know your name, the one who saved me.
I'm Serena.
The girl replied, her voice filled with emotion. A familiar gleam appeared in the wolf's eyes.
So, you're the one who intentionally disrupted the balance between the colony and the forest. But now you're here to save what you've disrupted.
Serena looked at the wolf with confusion.
What do you mean by that?
Your actions had consequences. The ancient power you awakened was a curse that shattered the previous equilibrium. Now we have only one chance for restoration.
Her heartbeat quickened even more.
How can I help? What do I need to do?
To restore balance between the colony and the forest, we need your strength. The ancient power you awakened is now gathering strength through you. You must find the source hidden within the shadow of the triple moon and guide the power back there to break the curse.
Serena stared at the wolf with determination. Though she had no idea what she had gotten herself into, she knew she couldn't abandon either the colony or the forest. She resolved to take on the task, no matter the cost. The wolf rose to its feet, cautiously taking its first steps.
Head toward the shadow of the triple moon, Serena. Our destinies are now intertwined.
Serena and the wounded wolf set forth into the depths of the forest, embarking on a mystical and perilous quest to restore balance and bring salvation to all those whose fates had become entwined.